Hello students, Michael Sanchez here. Thank you so much for watching. Today I'm going to be talking about arm exercises that are going to hopefully help you guys out to get better at playing the violin. So just to give you guys an idea of kind of what I'm looking to cover today, it's basically, that I find a lot of students when they play the violin, they move their arm quite a bit too much in and out. So as they start to go down bow, there's just a little bit of arm movement kind of throughout the whole entire stroke. So as I'm going to the tip, my arm is still moving back a little bit. But what you should be doing, you should be coming out just a little bit with the arm when you're starting at this point to here. And then after that, we want to just extend, not using any arm. And then as we come back, this is all about bending the wrist right here, but no arm movement. Notice my wrist is level as well. It's really important to keep the wrist level throughout the stroke. And when we get to this point, this is when I start to actually come back in with the arm, like that. So there's 4 parts of the bow stroke. We have part 1, we have part 2, part 3, part 4. And again, notice my wrist nice and bent. Notice a lot of students, their wrist is really stiff. We talked about that last week in the class. Make sure your wrist is bent. Notice my fingers are curved as well in the bow hold. So a couple of things you guys could be doing. One drill I really highly recommend is what I call the wall drill. And that's where I actually have students put their elbow up against the wall and try to actually imitate a bow stroke. And to do that, what I want you guys to do is actually start not at normally where you start here, but actually about here, because that's after you take the arm out. So right here, and then put your elbow up against the wall, and then just practice not going back at all from this point, back and forth, back to that point, just like this. Notice how my elbow won't move. This is what most people do. Like that. So it's really important not to move the elbow. What this is going to do is going to help you guys avoid bow bounce. Bow bounce is caused a lot by upper arm tension, because basically when you're using all this muscle, it can easily push against the bow, which can easily cause bad sound, bow bounce, basically like this. We don't want. So a lot of students ask me, why is your bow bouncing? And it's always something to do with tension. So a big part of it could be your arm. The next one I highly recommend you guys do is actually put your wrist up against the wall at this point and actually try to work on just flicking the wrist back and forth and using your index finger and relying on just your hand and index to kind of power the bow. Because a lot of students like to power the bow with their arm, like we talked about. So just like this. Notice how my fingers are curved, thumb is curved, and I'm just powering the bow with my index and my wrist, my flexible wrist. So most students, what they do is they do this. It's going to give you guys a lot better sound. And that's basically exactly what you're doing as you're doing the bow stroke. You're using those muscles. So those 2 drills are probably the most effective I've found for the arm. So highly recommend that. Thanks so much for watching. I'm going to post this video on Facebook, and hopefully you guys join us next week's class, 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. We have currently about 15 students in the class right now, and we always have a good time. Thanks so much for watching.